Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 22nd of September. Been a bit of a roller coaster ride with the TradeOgre fiasco. There's a lot of things unfolding, so I'm going to talk about all of that today. I've been contacted by some people who are trying to push the Palladium thing forward, and I'm still a bit cautious about it because it's just a random thing that popped out on X. But if you don't know what post I'm referring to, I'm going to look at that today as well, and then of course look at some other articles. But before we do all of that, let's jump into the markets and the charts. Today's markets are looking as follows. We are at $4.1 trillion, a little bit down from 4.2 we were at a couple of days ago. Bitcoin dominance has dipped to 55.7%. Ethereum dominance is standing at 13.1%, which means that we should be seeing a bit of an uptick on the altcoin market cap. $96 billion in trading volume. Vantis and Palm BTC, Merlin Chain are top gainers. Bitcoin's presently standing at 115,000, Ethereum at $4,400. BNB is well above $1,000, $1,045. Man, BNB is pumping. I was doing the math. If you had bought $1,000 of BNB back when it was 9 cents, it would be worth about $11 million right now. Yeah, insanity. Solana, 237. Cardano at 88 cents. Litecoin, 114. Toncoin still at $3. Man, Toncoin is not moving anywhere. And Polkadot at 427. Looking at the Bitcoin daily chart, Bitcoin has broken below this support level here. On the Fibonacci at 0.5. That's the resistance levels I drew just the other day, I think on Friday, and right now we've got the 0.382 that is going to act as support, and the 0.5 is turning out to be a resistance for now. The total market cap for altcoins is at 1.67. Its all-time high I think was around here, 1.74. So we've dipped a little bit. Ethereum is moving sideways. Not much happening on Ethereum, really. Not much is happening in the market, really. I mean, you know, there is $4.1 trillion in the market cap, and if there isn't any more money coming into the market, the price is going to stagnate, right? The money is just sloshing around from one asset to another. Into Bitcoin and out of Bitcoin into altcoins and out of altcoins. So if the market cap remains at this level, we're not going to see a continuation of increased prices, because obviously the amount of money that's in the market cap is the same. So what do you expect? We need to have printers revving or new blood coming into the markets in order for the prices to start pumping. Before I jump into TradeOgre, a quick article here that is kind of hinting at the end of the bull run. It also reinforces the idea of a 4-year cycle, something that Michael Saylor and other entities would like you to believe isn't happening anymore. So be cautious, be advised that in my opinion, I think the bull market will end and the bear market will come, and it's going to happen sometime during this year. Now, we may not be seeing another 90% retracement on Bitcoin. That may not happen because, I mean, the market cap is a significant chunk bigger than it was last time around. So it's just a lot more difficult to move that kind of money around. And I guess there's a lot more investors that are going to hold Bitcoin despite any bear market or despite any major retracements. So we may not see a retracement of 90%. But I think we still stand to see a retracement of about 70% or so, somewhere within that vicinity for Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin dumps, like, I don't know if you remember, but if you look at the last retracement on Bitcoin, which occurred right here, right? This was at the end of 2024 and into 2025. If you notice, Bitcoin was at maybe I need to switch over to the Bitcoin chart. In early 2025, we had Bitcoin at an all-time high of $109,000, and then we had a massive retracement, right? This was right here. I think this was about 30% that we saw retracement on Bitcoin. Yeah, 31%, which took months to recover. So basically, this went from January all the way till April. That was the dump, and then it took about April to only a month to recover. But in the meantime, what happened to the altcoins? If you look at, for example, the likes of ADA, in the same time, when you look at ADA, for example, there is a retracement of 55% on ADA on the back of what happened with Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin dips, the chart for ADA looks horrendous. What a mess. Just look how choppy it is. Wow. Anyway, when Bitcoin retraces even 30%, altcoins get completely annihilated. So if we were to see retracement on Bitcoin of about, anywhere from 30 to 70%, 50% even, then you can bet your bottom dollar that altcoins are going to be completely destroyed. So this is where the bear market comes in. Bitcoin may not see a massive retracement. I mean, 30% is quite big. We could see a little bit more than that. But what will happen to the altcoins is going to be devastating. So this is where the bear market comes in. So while Michael Saylor may not be seeing the return of a bear market, because in his view, Bitcoin is forever there and it's forever pumping, the bear market will come in the form of a complete wipeout of a lot of the altcoins. And so that's going to be the major destroyer of people's funds, because a lot of people are invested in altcoins in hope of making massive gains, right? It's the risk to reward ratio, and a lot of people are holding, it's $1.7 trillion worth of crypto or money being held in altcoins, right? So that's a massive amount, and that will be wiped out if Bitcoin has another 30 to 50% retracement. So what's the reason for this article? Is Bitcoin's bull run ending? What to expect as cracks to start to show? Long-term holders are selling and active addresses are at an 11-month low despite high transaction count. Surging low-quality speculative transactions hide weakening fundamentals, making the rally potentially unsustainable. Long-time LTHs are crashing out and active addresses have slipped to their lowest point in almost a year. At the same time, a surge in small speculative transactions is keeping activity numbers from falling even further. We're about to see Bitcoin. Are we about to see Bitcoin fall? So we are coming towards the end of the year, and I think we are coming towards the end of the bull run. And so this is something to keep in mind. We should see another push forward come October. I guess we're going to see what will happen in October. But towards the end of the year, I think we're going to see a dying out of this bull run that we've had. And if you notice, the market cap is kind of stagnating at 4 trillion. Unless we see a massive push, a massive injection of money, of funds, this $4 trillion is going to get deflated, and we're going to see a retracement to $2 trillion or something massive like that. It's going to happen, in my view, of course, not financial advice, yada, yada, yada. Do your own thing, yeah? All right, so yesterday, there was a post on X by Deploy-Technology Group stating that Palladium is offering to help people recover their stash on TradeOgre. So the post reads, TradeOgre recovery official announcement following recent developments with the shutdown of the TradeOgre exchange. Palladium network is opening an official process for affected users to submit claims and seek representation. This page serves as our only official channel for filing claims. We are working with a top law firm and are officially operating with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police to ensure full legal compliance, transparency, and protection of victims. By filling out the claim from users may be considered for representation by Palladium Network. Each case will be reviewed carefully before acceptance. We strongly encourage all affected individuals to read the instructions on the page thoroughly and submit their claim as soon as possible. Together we will ensure this process is handled properly, and so on. So the Palladium website states here they've got an official announcement. TradeOgre claim funds. Following recent developments, Palladium Network provides a process for users affected by the TradeOgre exchange shutdown to claim their funds. This page serves as the official company channel for submitting claims. We are cooperating with a specialized law firm and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in order to ensure proper legal handling and transparency. Palladium Network is representing victims of the seizure throughout this process. Please read the information below carefully and fill in the forms to request consideration of representation. Palladium Network will evaluate each case and determine whether it can provide representation or not. For questions or legal inquiries, contact the Palladium, blah, blah, blah. So basically they're asking you, the announcement is that they are going to help people out with the claims of whatever funds you may have had on the TradeOgre exchange. Now, please keep in mind that this is not going to be a free service. Yeah, don't expect things to come free of charge. So the claim form here expects you to fill in your name, your email address, not sure this is your phone number, and a message, I guess. This representation process is only for users who held assets on TradeOgre. Verification of claims and completion of KYC will be required before Palladium Network can take representations of a customer. Providing false or misleading information may result in refusal of representation and potential legal action. The representation process will be handled transparently via Palladium Network in cooperation with legal partners and relevant authorities. So if you are trying to scam people again, then providing false information may result in refusal or representation and potential legal action. So yeah, they might come after you if you try to screw around with the information you provide them with. But keep this in mind, okay? This is a legal case. So if they are truly running this, so yesterday I was saying that, you need to be careful about this because I don't know, this just popped out and I don't trust anything that I see online anymore. So when I see this sudden announcement and a rush to share your information and all that stuff, the hackles on the back of my neck rise up, and I am very, very cautious about what is being suggested, what is being proposed. So here is the formal letter, I guess, from them here. Scope of representation. Deploy Cash Technology Group, SRO, based in Prague, undertakes the representation of clients in matters concerning the recovery of financial assets frozen by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in the course of proceedings conducted against the cryptocurrency platform TradeOgre. Now, you might wonder why Prague? Why is this company based out of Prague? It seems to be due to the fact that Palladium is a company based out of the Czech Republic. From what I gathered, Palladium is a company or is a project that is they're aiming at offering tokenized NFT type access to real estate throughout Prague. And it may just be a couple of guys who own some property in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and who have decided to tokenize that property in order to sell NFTs to people who will presumably own parts of the real estate in Prague or parts of the real estate in the Czech Republic, wherever they may be placed. So that seems to be Palladium project, which in itself, to me personally, is weird already because, again, it's like buying pieces of a Rolex watch. You buy an NFT and you've got the fragmentalized ownership of an actual asset, which was, I mentioned this project a long time ago. This was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. There was some guy was trying to sell NFTs or fragments of Rolexes, and so this is kind of a similar idea. People being able to buy fragments of real estate based in a country somewhere far away by purchasing NFTs that are backed by that property. So anyway, that's Palladium, it seems. In any case, preparation and submission of documents necessary to confirm the client's status as an injured party, official communication with any authorities conducting the processing, RCMP and other authorities at subsequent stages, cooperation with law enforcement authorities in Czech Republic and other relevant jurisdiction, actions aimed to recovering financial assets. Clients eligible for representation. Deploy Technology Group SRO represents only those clients who held legal assets deposited on the TradeOgre.com platform. So if you are a thief, if you're a criminal, and you obtained your crypto through criminal means, they will not represent you. Are able to document the source of funds, so you will have to have some kind of information, some way of verifying that you have those funds, and that would most likely be in the form of a screenshot or something like that, which may or may not be accessible to most people. I personally don't know if I have any screenshots. I mean, how often do you take screenshots of your stashes? Maybe some people are so pedantic and they do take it on a regular basis. If you have smaller bags on a crypto exchange, you probably don't do it. Maybe something that we should be doing, but I assume that a lot of people don't. And have full legal capacity to represent their own interests. that means you need to have full legal capacity to represent your own interests. You can't be mentally unable to communicate your needs, I guess. Company reserves the right to refuse representation in cases where there is a suspicion that the funds originated from unlawful activity. Required documents and data for the client. Power of attorney granted to Deploy-Dash Technology Group SRO and the corporation law firm conduct the case before RCMP. So you must understand that this is basically like hiring a lawyer, which will entail some legal fees. Palladium is not doing it for free. So the reason why Palladium is pursuing it is because they had it's a new company, right? And they had I guess a nice stash of their tokens stored on TradeOgre. And from what I understand is they also had some other assets with TradeOgre as well. So they are trying, the main goal is to recover those Palladium tokens that they provided to TradeOgre as liquidity, and of course any other assets that they may have had. So this is why they're running this legal action, because their amount of money is significant. And so for anybody who wants to join this legal action and wants to be part of it, you will be required to chip in. It's not going to come for free, so you're going to have to pay some fees. I don't know what the fees are. Again, from what I gather, it's going to be a little bit more expensive for people who are outside of the European Union, a little bit less expensive for those who are within the European Union, because the company is based in the EU. So that's something to consider if you may be wanting or thinking about joining this this fiasco. But I've contacted Palladium, and I hope to have one of their people come on and maybe sit down, have a powwow with them and chat and see how this is going to work. The hot wallet address assigned to the user's account on the exchange, information about the amount of and structure of assets held in the account at the time it was frozen. So maybe not necessarily screenshots, but if you must be aware of what you had on the exchange. You must have your login information, I guess, and be able to kind of give them a ballpark number of what you had. And optionally, data on the wallets from which transfers were made to the exchange account. This will significantly speed up the verification process and strengthen the claim. So I guess if you have like information on how you sent, from which wallets you sent the money into TradeOgre, that would also work. Submission of statement confirming the legal origin of the funds and completion of the KYC procedure required by Canadian authorities. Indication of the wallet address or bank account to which the recovered funds should be returned. Representation costs. Deploy-Dash Technology Group stipulates that representation involves the payment of a fee covering legal and administrative services. This fee will not be excessive as the recovery process is co-financed by Deploy-Dash Technology Group due to the company's interest in the matter. The exact amount of the fee and the method of payment will be communicated to each client individually before procedure begins. So I guess the fees will depend on how much money you held on TradeOgre and how much of it will be recoverable. So I assume that the more cash you have on TradeOgre, the higher your fees will be. Rules of liability. Deploy-Dash Technology acts as an intermediary and representative of the client in communication with the RCMP and relevant legal authorities, but does not guarantee a positive outcome of full recovery of the funds. But the fees will have to be paid. Just keep that in mind. Again, when you deal with lawyers, you have to pay them for their time. It's just that's how it goes. You hire people to do a job, you have to pay them. There may be a difference in, the payment required in case of a recovery of funds versus non-recovery, but there will be a fee. There will be fees involved. Company will make every effort to ensure the process is carried out with due diligence and professionalism. In the event of refusal by the RCMP or other Canadian authorities to recognize the claims, Deploy-Dash Group shall not be liable for lost funds. So that also involves the legal fees that you will have to pay, even if the RCMP does not choose to cooperate with Deploy-Dash. unless such loss results from the company's gross negligence. So basically, if Deploy Dash fucks up, then they will be required to pay you back. But if it's the RCMP not wanting to negotiate, not wanting to cooperate with the Deploy Dash, then, you know, your fees need to be paid. Client's obligations. The client undertakes to provide all required data and documents in a timely manner. The client undertakes to fully cooperate, including confirming ownership of funds, undergoing additional verification procedures, and complying with the requirements of Canadian authorities. The client undertakes to maintain confidentiality regarding correspondence and actions taken within the recovery procedure. Confidentiality and data protection. All data and documents provided by the client will be treated as confidential and used for the purpose of covering data. Yeah, so this is kind of a contract, legal contract. It looks like that you would be agreeing to by signing your information right here. So keep that in mind. I think once you enter this claim, this will apply to you, and all this legal mumbo jumbo will be applicable. Now, that aside, I personally have I messaged, emailed the RCMP and am waiting a response. And the email that I used to contact them is right here, PFFP Regions, Eastern Region RCMP. So I'm not sure that this is the correct email address, but this is the email address that was shared with by somebody through X. So that's good. There's also an email address that is right here attached to this article, the recorded breaking 56 million. However, this leads to nowhere. This, if you click right here, it takes you to the page where the information right here, which provides the article kind of talks about the seizure of 56 million from TradeOgre. It has some marks, and you would figure that this email here would lead you to have some response, but I messaged this email address and I received an automated message instantaneously telling me that they're not going to take any what was the exact wording? It says, you have sent an email to the RCMP Communications Office as indicated on their website. The RCMP does not accept reports of crime via email. So this email is just an email. Actually, I don't even know what it is for. If you can't use it to report a crime, then what the heck is it for? Anyway, so this is not this didn't go anywhere. So I'm hoping that this email will bring something back, but you know, we don't know. But as soon as something comes up and I hear back from these guys, then I will let you know, of course. And you are free to go ahead and follow the leg of the Palladium action that they're taking through Deploy Dash. But again, this is something that you'll be doing on your own, basically, or in combination with Palladium. So if you have a massive amount, this may or may not be a good idea. I mean, Palladium, they obviously have hired a legal representative to represent them in the possible legal case in regards to TradeOgre. So they're paying for that. And of course, there will be some legal fees on your part involved. You'll be chipping in. But I guess that is a good route to go. Whether that's going to work out or not is another story. That's a completely different story. So I hope that I hear back from Palladium and have somebody come on to the live feed with me, and we can have a little powwow and I can squeeze that person for information, find out a little bit more about what is being intended and how this is going to proceed, in case anybody out there is willing to work with them. But I know that there's a lot of people who have messaged me. A lot of viewers of the CryptoFather channel have held small amounts of crypto, like we're talking about $2,000, $1,000. And if the legal fees are anything in the vicinity of, let's say, $200 or more, then I doubt that a lot of people will be interested in joining this particular case and joining this, having to pay these legal fees when the amount of crypto that they hold, or the amount of overall USDT or whatever that they held on TradeOgre is barely enough to cover those costs. So, but that is an option that has been put forward to you. Just keep in mind that it is being run through Palladium, and you know, you're doing everything at your own risk, essentially. If you are seriously interested in pursuing this route of recovering your funds, then I would suggest contact them before, ahead of time. Get in touch, you know, giving your name, email, and phone number. I mean, these are like minor minor things, you're not giving up your ID or anything. So I'm sure that they would contact you first, but just make sure that this is a legal way of doing it, that it's not another scam that is being thrown on the perceived sheeple of the TO fallout, you know, because there's so many scams right now, and the world we're living in, it's just turning tipsy-turvy. It's going mad. 2025 is going to be going to provide us with a massive shift in reality and how we view the world. I think the world is going a bit bonkers. So be very careful. Whatever you do, be very, very careful. For questions or legal inquiries, contact us at info@PLLD. I might shoot them a message as well and see what they have to say in that regard. But that's it for today. I guess that's all I have to say about that. Make sure to smash up the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment section below, of course. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, do drop them below the video. Share the video with a wider audience, share it with people that you know. I always appreciate your subscriptions, always appreciate your support, of course, because that helps grow the channel and all that good stuff. If you want to support the channel further, then do consider picking up the copy of Crypto and Millennials. The link is below the video. Of course, there are also the cent wallets, for which I didn't include the little logo here because I just didn't get around to it just yet. I'm slow on the trigger, very slow. So you can do that, and also there are also memberships on the channel, so you could become a member on the channel. That's another way of supporting the channel as well. In any case, enough of that. Let's hope for more good information coming over the upcoming days. I will see you then. Have a good one. Peace.